Pop culture historian Dave Sundstrom here. I hope you're enjoying this Blast from the Past live stream. You know, I have another YouTube channel called Retro Jukebox, and there are a bunch of songs about the 80s and even some of the TV shows that aired during the 80s over there. Check it out when you get a chance. Here's one of those songs.
Sit here dreaming, yeah, I'm dreaming of you. Thinking back to that summer with the motels and the tubes. Thinking back to that summer way back in 1982. Orange foam headphones, orange foam headphones, orange foam headphones, orange foam headphones. These orange foam headphones, they are a portal through time. Back when life seemed simpler, life seemed so sublime.
The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
It's time to test your trivia skills.
Just how much you know about the shows that thrill.
Will you be at the top of the game today? Or will you just wish it all went away?
You never know when it's trivia time. It's trivia time. It's Mother effing trivia time. So yippee-ki-yay, let's play.
All right, let's play. Hey folks, this is pop culture historian Dave Sundstrom, and I am just tickled to be hanging out with you all tonight for a few minutes while we work through 15 classic television trivia questions. But before we get going, let me say hello to as many people as I can within the next couple of minutes. So let's see, we've got Rachel in the 208 here. Lila Mirabella, welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Bienvenue. Let's see who else is here. Melina Long is here. David Thomas. Channel member Lance Chaffin. Channel member Tracy Roth-Myers. Danny Staten. Gary Carpenter. Gina's Artisan Jewelry. Willie Bowen. Let's see. Wajameen. Booger 414. Channel member Sean Innes. Sarah, my flock is everywhere, who had a birthday this last Thursday. Let's see. Who else is here? That might be, well, let me keep scrolling. Adrian James is here. Welcome, Adrian. And if I miss someone, I apologize. I'm scrolling rather quickly. Snark and Sass, welcome to the live stream tonight. I don't want to spend all night going through this, but I do want to say hello to as many people as I can. Two Beer, let's do this thing. Face the Ace, howdy, howdy. Good to have you with us. Channel member Angela McArdle, welcome. I'm getting there. I'm almost done working through the list. Thanks for your patience, everybody. I think that is it. Yeah, I've said hello to everybody that has currently said something in the chat. So with that said, let's get rolling. Let's play some trivia, huh? Go ahead and take Angela's comment off the screen there. And you guys know the way we play this game. I'm going to put 15 questions, one at a time, on the screen. Give you about 30 seconds to answer the question. Now, you can do it in the chat if you want. If you want to be, when I play these games, I just kind of lock them in my noggin. But do whatever works best for you so that this is the most fun for you. And don't sweat it if you can't answer the questions or if you get a bunch wrong. The key and the real point of doing all of this is to have fun and to build community. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully we can all accomplish that. About halfway through the questions tonight, I'm going to play some vintage commercials. And yeah, that's it. Once we're done with the questions, we'll have Fred sing us out of here. But that's a ways away. And I will share one video with you guys about Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore. That last trivia question might be about the Dick Van Dyke Show. Well, let's go. Let's get rolling. No more stalling. Let me put the questions on the screen. There we go. There's Jill, Sabrina, and Kelly. And let me get my timer ready. That's important as well when we do these things. So once I have all this set up, I won't be looking at the chat. So please don't throw any questions my way right now. I won't see them. The chat is there for you all to interact. But I won't see them until I get a chance to peek at them, probably when we're looking at watching the vintage commercials. But anyway, let's get rolling. I've got the timer ready. I've got the questions ready. Let's go ahead and do question number 1 out of 15. And the first question is, on the Beverly Hillbillies, who performed the show's theme song? Was it Andy Griffith, Flatt and Scruggs, the Kingston Trio, or Simon and Garfunkel? I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to turn off this heater I have on. I forgot that it was on. And I'm going to read the question one more time. On the Beverly Hillbillies, who performed the show's theme song? Was it Andy Griffith, Flatt and Scruggs, the Kingston Trio, or Simon and Garfunkel? And I love it that we're having more people join us as we're just starting. This is the very first question tonight. The more the merrier. And the answer to this question is, of course, the legendary Flatt and Scruggs. What a great duo they were. All right, let's keep moving. Question number 2 out of 15 tonight. On Knight Rider, what are the names of Kit's mechanics? Were they April and May, April and Bonnie, May and June, or Bonnie and Amy? So if you recall, I think it was the second season, the mechanic was replaced by another mechanic, and then that mechanic, the original mechanic, came back eventually. Network executives, they're always meddling in this stuff, and they should have just left things alone. But anyway, let's start the timer. On Knight Rider, what are the names of Kit's two mechanics? Were they April and May? April and Bonnie? May and June? Or Bonnie and Amy? All right, let me turn off the timer. And the correct answer is April and Bonnie. Moving on to question number 3. This crooner and member of the Rat Pack made a 1972 appearance on the hit Norman Lear sitcom All in the Family. Was it Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., or Joey Bishop? You know, All in the Family wasn't a show that when it was on prime time, I really appreciated. It wasn't until I watched them later on in reruns that I really began to enjoy the show. Anyway, this crooner and member of the Rat Pack made a 1972 appearance on the sitcom All in the Family. Was it Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., or Joey Bishop? And the correct answer to trivia question number 3 is Frank Sinatra. Did I highlight the wrong one? I know for a fact that Sammy Davis Jr. was on this one. Hang on a second, folks. Frank Sinatra never made an appearance on All in the Family. The correct answer, if you're keeping track of these things, and you should be, is Sammy Davis Jr. That is a little bit of a technical difficulty on my part. It's a Dave Sundstrom error. Apologies, folks. Sammy Davis Jr. should be highlighted. No points if you selected or if you said Frank Sinatra, and full points if you said Sammy Davis Jr. All right, moving on to question number 4, and hopefully that's the last one where I make a mistake as I'm setting this up. On Charlie's Angels, which actress joined the show when Kate Jackson left? Was it Cheryl Ladd, Jenny Lee Harrison, Shelley Hack, or Tanya Roberts? Okay, and I'll start the timer there. You know, it is sad that we lost Tanya so darn early. It's been what? Is it around 2019, 2020 that she left us? Somewhere around that time. It feels like it's been about 5 years now. Anyway, on Charlie's Angels, which actress joined the show when Kate Jackson left? Was it Cheryl Ladd, Jenny Lee Harrison, Shelley Hack, or Tanya Roberts? And the correct answer is Shelley Hack. Question number 5 out of 15. What was the first cartoon to ever air as a prime time television series? Now, this is prime time TV series. That's key there. Was it Johnny Quest, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, or the Simpsons? Timer engaged. What was the first cartoon to ever air as a prime time television series? Your choices are A, Johnny Quest, B, the Flintstones, C, the Jetsons, or D, the Simpsons. You got about 7 seconds left on the timer, folks, to lock in your answers. Correct answer is Yabba Dabba Doo, Fred Flintstone, and gang. All right, moving on to question number 6. And by the way, before we go to the vintage commercials after question number 8, I want to get scores from everybody. On The Greatest American Hero, what government agency did Bill Maxwell work for? Was it the ATF, the CIA, the FBI, or was it NASA? Get the timer started here. I will read the question again. And boy, when this show came out, I sure loved it. I thought it was so much fun. William Catt was, of course, the lead character playing Ralph Hinckley. Connie Selica was there. Oh. And Bill Maxwell, played by the great Robert Culp. Anyway, what agency did he work for? Was it A, the ATF, B, the CIA, C, the FBI, or D, NASA? Correct answer is C, the FBI. All right, question number 7 out of 15. Just moving along here, folks. Doing well. Which star of Batman appeared in the Three Stooges final feature film? Was it Adam West, Burt Ward, Madge Blake, or Neil Hamilton? Let me start the timer here. And the question one more time is, which star of Batman, so we're talking about the Batman TV series here, appeared in the final feature film that starred the Three Stooges? Was it Adam West? I should say A, Adam West, B, Burt Ward, C, Madge Blake, or D, Neil Hamilton? I've done a video on Neil Hamilton and Madge Blake for that matter. Wait, I've done videos on all these folks, but my Neil Hamilton video, if you haven't watched that one, I'd encourage you to go to my channel and search for that one. It's one of my favorite that I've ever done, and partially because I just didn't know all these things about Neil Hamilton. What an amazing life that man led. Now, with that said, he wasn't the star. It was Adam West who starred in that final feature film with the Stooges. One more question before we take a break. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Where are you coming from, Spider-Man? That was the theme song that actually appeared in this PBS educational program. Which one did Spidey appear in? Was it A, Electric Company, B, Reading Rainbow, C, Sesame Street, or D, Zoom? I'll get that timer going and read the question one more time. Spider-Man appeared in what PBS educational program? This was during the 70s. Your choices are A, Electric Company, B, Reading Rainbow, C, Sesame Street, or D, we're gonna zoom, 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 zoom. Come on and zoom, 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 zoom. You guys remember that theme song, right? That was a good one. Again, that's not the correct answer. It was, of course, the Electric Company. Oh, I love those little Spider-Man episodes. They usually appeared towards the end of that half-hour show, and I would just wait with bated breath, hoping this, because he wasn't on every episode, hoping that Spider-Man would make an appearance. Just love those appearances. A lot of fun, and from what I understand, Stan Lee and Marvel allowed PBS and Children's Television Workshop to use the character free of charge because they knew it was going for such a good purpose, right? Anyway, we're going to take a break here before we... What did I do there? Let me hit cancel. That was the wrong button. Before we do question 9, we're going to take a bit of a break, so I'm going to take that off the screen. Hey, full screen, wouldn't you know it? Let's get some scores. What do you say? All right, let's see. I think this is our first score from Two Beers. 7 out of 8. Guessed a couple. Flintstones I Never Knew. Channel member Angela McArdle, 8 of 8. Kimberly, welcome to the live stream. 5 at this point. That's a decent score. 5 out of 8. Booger 414, 6 out of 8. Channel member Tracy Rothmeyer, 6 of 8. David Thomas, 6 of 8. Channel member Sean Innes, 7 for 8. Wajameen, 8 of 8. Channel member John Collins is 4 of 8 right now. And he's reminding folks, and this is a great reminder, thanks, John, hey, hit the little like button on the live stream. It's relatively a low effort thing to do, and it actually helps more people discover this live stream, both while it's live and later on when it's being replayed. Willie Bowen's got 100%. Nice job, Willie, 8 of 8. Gary Carpenter, 7 of 8. Let's see, scores-wise, we've got Rachel in the 208. That's 7 of 8. Anybody else want to share their score before we go to commercial messages? And hang on, these are fun commercial messages. These aren't your typical commercial messages. As a matter of fact, these commercials are pulled from MTV during 1985. So I think you really will enjoy them. I guess that's it scores-wise. So let me go ahead and take Rachel in the 208 score off the screen. Oh, wait, here we go. We got a couple more. Christopher Ramon Reed, 5 of 8. And channel member Lance Chaffin, 8 of 8. Good job, guys. It's great. All right, let me find those commercials, do a little scrolling here. And here they are. Folks, I'll be back in just a little over 2 minutes, and we will have 7 more trivia questions for us to work through.
We've got the music and the videos on sale now at Musicland. Save on Private Dancer, plus the video Tina Turner Live. Pick up Around the World in a Day and see Prince and the Revolution Live, the video. See and hear Madonna, Like a Virgin, on sale now. Save on these and selected Video Award winners, now on sale at Musicland. Musicland! We bring entertainment to life.
Jericho, just out and outrageous.
Cherry Coca-Cola.
Check it out and find out. Taste is what it's all about. Outrageously smooth, outrageously light. Cherry makes it wild, Coca-Cola makes it right. New Cherry Coke, outrageous. New Cherry Coke, outrageous.
Casio presents the Johnson 5. Rick Johnson on drums. Johnson on bass. On guitar. On piano. Rick Johnson on trumpet. In other words, Rick Johnson on a Casio MT100. With a graphic equalizer, built-in rhythms, and one-finger Casio chord, it's easy to play. And it's battery-powered so you can take it on the road. Casio keyboards for the Johnson 5, the Smith 5.
Opening an ice-cold Pepsi, new generation style. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Whenever I think about classic TV, I immediately think about the Frndly TV streaming service that has over 50 channels, many of them showcasing classic television shows from decades gone by for a crazy low price. You can try the service free for 7 days by clicking on the link in the description section. And when you do, you're supporting this channel. Thanks. Yeah. Please do. Click on that link in the description section. Give Frndly TV a try. It's my favorite TV streaming service, and it costs about the same price as a fast food combo meal for an entire month's worth of entertainment. If you're a classic TV junkie like me, it's the best, especially with their cloud DVR. Okay, so let's get rolling. Let's get rolling. Let me get the questions back up on the screen, and let's get to question number 9. Here it is. On Emergency, what was the name of the nurse at Rampart General? Was it Dixie McCall, Erica Stewart, Kelly Brackett, or Tabitha Stevens? Get that timer going, and I will read the question one more time. On Emergency, what was the name of the nurse at Rampart General? Was it Dixie McCall, Erica Stewart, Kelly Brackett, or Tabitha Stevens? I have a backstory for this question that I can share in just a minute. And let me go ahead and take the timer off the screen and give the answer. Correct answer is Dixie McCall. Struggling to talk there because I'm already thinking ahead to there was what was it? On National Nurses Day, so probably like 2 weeks ago, I posted a question about who's your favorite TV nurse. And initially I left Dixie off of the poll. And boy, did my community, did some of you guys really give me a tongue lashing over that omission. Okay. Question number 10 out of 15. Which Bonanza actor owned a chain of restaurants named after the show? Was it Dan Blocker, Lauren Green, Michael Landon, or Pernell Roberts? One more time. Which Bonanza actor owned a chain of restaurants named after the show? Was it Dan Blocker, Lauren Green, Michael Landon, or Pernell Roberts? You know, I don't know if any of you guys are like me, but there's certain words that I struggle with saying correctly every time, and one of them is Bonanza. I always want to say Bonanza. I don't know why, but I always want to say Bonanza. Matter of fact, the first time I did a Bonanza video, I actually, the entire video mispronounced it as Bonanza. I ultimately took the thing down because I just couldn't live with it. But the things we do. Dan Blocker is the correct answer, of course. Haas played that character up until the final. He passed away before the final season, and they tried to go on without Dan Blocker, and of course, they could not. He was very much the heart and soul of that show. Question 11 out of 15. What is the name of the bird-like warrior Buck Rogers encountered during the season premiere, season 2 premiere? Was his name Eagle-Eye Cherry, Hawk, the Falcon, or Robin? Let me get that timer going. And I'll read this question again. What is the name of the bird-like warrior Buck Rogers encountered during season 2? Was his name Eagle-Eye Cherry, Hawk, the Falcon, or Robin? Tom Christopher was the actor who played this character. Passed away recently, like within the last year. Had a huge career on soap operas. One in particular, I can't remember which one it is. He was, of course, Hawk on Buck Rogers. Question 12 out of 15. On the facts of life, you take the good, you take the bad. And then you get the facts of life. What famous actress was dropped as a series regular after the first season? Was it Ali Sheedy, Demi Moore, Molly Ringwald, or Winona Ryder? Is it Winona? Winona Ryder. We'll say that. On the facts of life, what famous actress? Yeah, I'd say it's fair to call her a famous actress. Was dropped as a series regular after the first season. Was it Ali Sheedy, Demi Moore, Molly Ringwald, or Winona Ryder? We'll give you folks just a few more seconds to lock in your answers on this one. Correct answer is Molly Ringwald. Question 13 out of 15. We've got just 3 left. What was the names of Ann Romano's 2 daughters on One Day at a Time? Were they Barbara and Janet, Barbara and Julie, Cindy and Barbara, or Cindy and Julie? We're counting down the clock now. What were the names? You should have said, what were the names? That would be better grammatically. Of Ann Romano's 2 daughters on One Day at a Time. Was it Barbara and Janet? Were they Barbara and Janet? That's A. B is Barbara and Julie. C is Cindy and Barbara, and D is Cindy and Julie. Hope you guys are having fun tonight. I really do. Like John Collins said earlier, if you are, please click on that little like button and let others know that you are enjoying this edition of Classic Television Trivia. Correct answers, Barbara and Julie. B. Question 14 out of 15. This television sitcom included a storyline about abortion, a shocking subject for the time. Your choices are A, All in the Family, B, MASH, C, Maude, or D, Marcus Welby, MD. John Collins, if you don't get this one right, shame on you. Timer engaged. This television sitcom included a storyline about abortion, which was a shocking subject for the time. Still a controversial subject, right? But this is a subject that really hadn't been tackled on television. So, of course, leave it up to one of the, well, I don't want to say anymore. I might be giving it away. So your choices are All in the Family, MASH, Maude, or Marcus Welby, MD. I'm going to stop because I was going to say Norman Lear sitcom, which would give it very much away because the correct answer is, well, it would have taken it down to two choices there. Correct answer is Maude. Final question. I hope everybody has done well tonight. And regardless of your score, I hope you've had fun. Last question. On the Dick Van Dyke Show, what is the name of the entertainer that Rob works for on the show? Is his name Alan Brady, Brady Roberts, Carl Reiner, or Milburn Drysdale? Let me get the timer going. On the Dick Van Dyke Show, what is the name of the entertainer that Rob Petrie worked for? Was his name Alan Brady? I should say, was his name A, Alan Brady, B, Brady Roberts, C, Carl Reiner, or D, Drysdale, as in Milburn? Look at that. The A, B, C, and D. Look at that. Pretty cool. All right. Correct answer. You guys know this one. You guys know more about this stuff than I do. You all know that it was Alan Brady, played by the great Carl Reiner. So what should we do there? It does say name of the entertainer that Rob worked for. So I'm going to give you guys, I'll tell you what, if anybody went with Carl Reiner, I'm giving you credit. I'm giving you credit for that one tonight. All right. It is your turn now to tell me how you did. Now, you can do it one of two ways. You can share it in the chat. I'll read it out loud, or you can later on put it in the comments section of the live stream as well. Whatever works best for you. I'm going to go full screen here. I'm going to read out some scores here. Final scores. Let's see what we've got going on. Wajamin got 14 out of 15. Channel member Angela McArdle had a perfect night. Congratulations, Angela. Dave Thomas got 8 of 15. Another perfect night for another channel member, Lance Chaffin. Well done. Willie Bowen got, looks one of it, maybe missed one there. Channel member Tracy Roth Myers, 11 of 15. John H. Must have joined us a bit late, 2 of 15. Rachel in the 208, 14 out of 15. John H. missed. Well, no, he didn't join us the first late. Oh, he missed them. Yeah, you missed them. You catch them on the replay. Play with us later there. Channel member Sean Ennis got 13 out of 15. You better be okay with that. That's a darn decent score. And Kimberly got 11, another good score. And first time here, first time joining us for Classic Television Trivia. Thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate that. Music Girl 67, channel member Ms. Elizabeth, joined us late, but of the 4 that she was here for, she got all 4 correct. Let's see what else we've got here. Deborah Battle got the last 5, so 5 out of 5 for those. Two Beer, 11 out of 15. Yikes, back half got him. Sorry about that, my friend. Channel member John Collins says 9 out of 15. And please watch the Judge documentary. It's well worth it. I've got it recorded. Haven't watched it yet and probably won't get to it for a week or two, but I will eventually. Any more scores? I don't see any more scores. Anyone else want to put them on the screen? I will put this on the screen because, of course, R.I.P. Ruth Buzzy and Joe Don Baker. I'm going to add one more R.I.P. to the list, too. I wonder if I have this. Hang on one second. I'm just going to quickly look and see if I have the thumbnail. If I have the thumbnail handy, I'm going to put it on the screen. I might not, though. Oh, I do. Here it is. It'll take just a second to upload. There we go. Rest in peace, Gary Stuckey, as well. You guys may or may not know Gary. He is a YouTube content creator that I encountered because early on in my content creation career, I did a lot of videos about music, and in particular the band's Journey and Steve Perry, who was lead singer of that band. And Gary, he almost all of his videos were exclusively about Journey or Steve Perry. And I found out, I even collaborated with Gary on a video or two. I found out that Gary had passed away in November of last year, right before Thanksgiving. And it's heartbreaking. I noticed that I hadn't seen any videos from him, but I didn't know what was going on. And to find out that he's no longer with us, that he's passed away, is tough. It's a reminder that we only have a finite number of minutes, folks. So, of course, rest in peace to all those fine folks, including you, Gary, my friend. Any more scores? Terrell's joining us late, but he's 1 of 1 so far. Well, good job. Keep going, Terrell. Keep going. All right. That's it. That's it for that. What else do I have to share with you tonight? I think I don't have much more. As promised, I'm going to share a video about Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore. But before I do that, I'm going to have our good friend of the channel. We'll say that. He didn't ever know the channel. He's long gone, but he's, his spirit is here in everything that I do. Friend of the channel, Fred Rogers, is going to sing us on out of here. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. And, let's all do our very best to be our very best with everyone that we encounter this week and going forward. All right, and let's not just limit it to this week, but you guys are all great. Thanks for being part of this YouTube community, and we'll talk to you all soon. Fred, where are you, buddy?
You are special.
When you talk about two actors having chemistry on screen, I really can't think of a better example than Mary Tyler Moore and Dick Van Dyke. Growing up, I absolutely loved watching The Dick Van Dyke Show. I was a bit too young to catch it when it originally aired for 5 seasons on CBS during the 60s, but during the 70s, this show seemed to always be on one of the 3 channels that we had in our area. I guess all told we had 5, but 2 of them were PBS affiliates, so they don't really count, right? There were a lot of things to love about The Dick Van Dyke Show, which was nearly canceled at the end of the first season due to low ratings, by the way. The entire cast was great. Along with Mary and Dick, you had Rosemarie, Maury Amsterdam, and Richard Deacon, and they were all a hoot. And I should devote an entire video to the genius of Carl Reiner. The show was just so well done. But at the end of the day, if I had to credit one thing for the show's enduring appeal, I would have to say it was these two. Back when I was watching reruns during the mid-70s, I really thought that they were a couple. They were just so darn believable. When Rob looked Laura in the eyes and said, "I love you," you know what? I believed it. And it turns out there is a reason why I felt that way. Why I believed that these two people were truly in love, and that's because they absolutely were. The truth about Mary and Dick's relationship is that they definitely had feelings for each other. So how do I know that? Well, I recently watched this interview right here on YouTube with Mary and Dick from 1999 where they discussed the feelings that they had for each other while making the show. According to Mary, there was a tremendous amount of romantic chemistry under the surface between these two actors. She went on to say that anyone who happened onto the set of the show during rehearsals would have noticed it. How? Well, believe it or not, Mary says it was evidenced by all the giggling that went on between the two actors. During the interview, Dick was even more blunt about their relationship and said that he had a crush on Mary. Hard to blame the guy. However, they were both quick to point out that they never acted out on those feelings because they were in committed relationships of their own with other people. A few years later, in another interview, Mary said that the two of them simply clicked as real people. Indeed they did. While both of these actors went on to star in other projects that gained massive notoriety, I think it's notable that Dick Van Dyke has said that the time spent with Mary making the Dick Van Dyke Show is the work that he is most proud of. Speaking of Mary, did you know that she almost wasn't cast as Laura Petrie? Yep, it's true. She wasn't among the actresses that were initially called into audition for the role. It was only after Danny Thomas, who was visiting with Carl Reiner one day, remembered a pretty young woman who had auditioned for his show as his daughter, but hadn't gotten the role because Danny thought she was too pretty for anyone to believe that she'd be related to him. Well, he thought that she might be perfect for the role of Laura Petrie. As a result, Carl called Mary in to read with Dick, and we all know things worked out pretty darn well. You know, I've got to hand it to this Danny Thomas guy. He's also at least partially responsible for bringing the Andy Griffith Show to network TV, and for that I am forever grateful. It's hard to imagine a world without the friendly little town of Mayberry, North Carolina in it. It really is. I know, you might be saying to yourself, what's this guy talking about? Mayberry doesn't exist. It's a fictional town on a fictional show. Well, that, my friends, may be true. But then again, I like to think of Mayberry as a state of mind. A place that we can all visit if we try hard enough. Alright, enough about Andy Griffith on a video that is supposed to be all about these two wonderful people. They truly loved each other. They didn't have to be romantically involved to absolutely adore each other. Their platonic love affair blossomed into a beautiful friendship that lasted a lifetime. Alright, now it's your turn. Please share your memories in the comments section, and while you're at it, I'd love a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I would be absolutely honored if you would consider subscribing to my channel. I talk about music, movies, and mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
Click on that thumbnail cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.